Good evening, everybody. Oh, got a frog in my throat again. Thank you very much for joining me. I thought today I have been really, really busy here, there, and everywhere, and then massive delivery came today. So I've been beavering away, getting things ready to go out to people tomorrow for pre-orders, but also wanting to see some of the amazing new products that are coming up for later this year still. There's one or two there, not least for the fact we've got the beautiful archway easy frames, which are a little bit more than you've already seen. So yeah, more to that will come in a minute, but loads and loads of restocking. So I'm going to show you the list of what we've got back in stock all over on the maximumcrafts.com website. Can't quite see it on there. Including the two things that I'm using here today, which is the Focal Easy Frame 1 and the Snowflake Flurry. So that's what I'm going to use, and I wanted to do it because I wanted to have a little chat with you at the same time. And what I'm going to be doing is actually doing this and chatting to you at the same time, which would be a bit exciting, but no, it won't. It's going to be easy to use. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. We've still got fireworks going off out in the background there. So I don't know, why don't people just do it on the 5th of November and have done with it? My little animals, they don't mind. The little guinea pigs, they're okay, but I know some people's poor animals really suffer. So I just wish we'd have it over and done with in one day, really, but there you go. So let's just show you what we have got back in stock. Loads of things. So we've got the vertical sentiments back in stock. Now you may recall they were the happy, the birthday and the Christmas all coming down. I've got them here all coming down. Whoops. Like this, so that you've got your sentiment going down. They're all back. The circle easy frames. Now the circle easy frames were the second one that I brought out ever, and I haven't had them in stock for a couple of months, so I've got them back in stock. So they're just your plain circle easy frames, and next Wednesday I'm indulging myself with them because I just want to make a sort of a card. I've got it in my head, and that is what I needed to do it with. So I'm going to be bringing those back for you. The bear hugs. Now you may recall, about a month ago, we made this card with this beautiful moon and bear, and it was so popular it sold out, I think, before I'd even finished talking. So they are back in stock. We've got a few of the double looped circles. They're back as well. We've got the snow flurry and the snow swirl. So that's the corners. As I said, I am going to be using the flurry, and that's this one here. So I'm going to be using that today. They're back in stock. And as I said, the focal frame and various bits of cardstock. You'll have to search a bit for the cardstock because there's all sorts of Christmassy ones coming in now. So they're not all on the website, but I will be putting them in over the next couple of days as well. So if you want to have a look back later for that, please do. But we are going to be using today, as I said, not new frames by any means, not new dies or anything like that. Just wanted to indulge myself in making a card that I wanted to do, and have a chance to have a little natter with you as well, if that's all right. Oh, poor little Rodney. Sir Rodney, I can see one of our little dogs doesn't like all this. Yeah, we don't like all this noise out there, do we, for them? Rodney is a dog, not a husband or a staff member. Yeah, so let us now, underneath all this, so I've got something else hiding. Oh my goodness. I am, at Christmas time especially, gnome mad, I have to say. I do have lots of gnomes that sit on one of my units, like in a little woodland scene. I know it's all a bit sad. And I saw these on Etsy, which is something that is, you know, I use for the images and things, like we were saying at the weekend, if you were with me then. And I saw this little knitted gnome and I thought, I need to use this. So I've printed him out. So what happens with this, if you're familiar with it, the Etsy, I think I had to pay £1.75 or something like that for this. But there were 10 different images, all different, holding different bouquets and presents and baubles and things like that. I printed him at 40%. So I think he came up at 80%. That's how the scale is put when you actually buy it. But I've shrunk him down so that he is at 40% because I wanted to put multiple ones because I want to do a bit of decoupage. So I've printed him out 4 times on one sheet of paper for the decoupage layers, but I needed to print him out just once in the middle because I want to put him into the focal frame. So focal frame is, as I said, the focal one, so it's to fit on a 7-inch card blank. It is not 7 inches. None of the things that say like that are like that. They're not 7 inches, because then when you get your 7-inch card blank, it would be hanging over the top, because most card blanks are a fraction smaller than the size that they say they are. Does that make any sense? So this one says that it's a 7-inch card blank, but it's actually about 6 3/4. So if I had made a die set that cut out something that was 7 inches, it would be over the top and we would all be cursing. Well, I would be cursing. So this is a fraction smaller and I've already pre-cut it. I've gone for my satin and gold card, which is back in stock. And I've used that for the large one. And then I've cut out from white hammered card, the smaller one, which, as you see, puts that together. And there you go. Now, I like to make them plain so that you can then add anything to it. So in this case, I'm going to add, as I said to you, the snowflake flurry corners. Snow flurry, sorry, not snowflake flurry, snow flurry. And that's going to go into these corners here. So that way, it's not just for Christmas. It will come with, you know, there's more corners coming up soon as well. So different corners make it into a different sort of theme. So first of all, I'm just going to use my white piece and I'm going to put that over the top of my little single gnome so that I can sort of center him so that I know that he's going to be about right. And I'm just thinking, hold on, because I've got a little sentiment and I'm just wondering where the little sentiment's going to go. I think I'm going to put him over to one side because I want the little sentiment to go here. So I'm going to pop him over to one side, try and pop that in straight. And then I'll take my pencil. Thank you for everybody that commented about what type of pencil I need, because I've now ordered one. And I'm just going to mark the corners of this, which is the smallest one of the 2 frames, so that I know where to cut that, especially as I wanted to put him slightly off center. So now I have to try and gauge whether this is right. I think that would be about it. Oh, sorry, I didn't think that I had that down properly, but I have, so all is well. So I'm just going to cut this bit out to start off with so that I can put that onto my card front, and then I can make up my frame and sit and cut a little bit of decoupage whilst we have a natter. Because why not? You all have a natter with one another and I can never see it because I'm always got the head down. So I thought, why not? So let's bring in my card blank first. And I shall make it so that it is a side folding one, I think. So I shall position my little gnome right into the middle of my card front. See, yet again, I need to get some more blades as it's rough around the edges, but not to worry because that will be hidden by the frame anyway. So that's going to go onto my card front, leaving a little border like so. And then I will just pop these two together so that they're all ready to go. So yeah, we have got the brand new archway frames coming on this Sunday. And most of you will have seen it anyway because, well, you think you've seen it anyway, because they are part of the November card kit. So you will have already seen what it looks like as such, except it's not quite all of it. So that will be launching on this Sunday. I'm going to put my other little corners on first. Which I got some in thinking I don't know whether this one will be all that popular. And I have had so many people saying, oh, will you save me one? Will you save me one? So I have ordered some more because I know that they are going to be very popular, I think, from what I can gather, which is great. Coming up now, what have we got coming up? Well, tomorrow evening, I'm doing an online workshop with a group of folks, and we are going to be making luxury gift boxes. So I'm looking forward to that. And then in a couple of weeks' time, well, no, not a couple of weeks, what I'm talking about, on the 16th, so it's week Saturday, I've got my last online workshop of the year. So we hold them once a month, and we've got the last one I can't do one in December, so we are doing our last one on the 16th. So that's going to be great. But looking forward, as I said, I had a delivery today, and there will probably be 2 more deliveries before Christmas now. So now's the time, if you're thinking of getting something for someone for Christmas, now's the time to start thinking about getting it whilst it's here, because obviously the Christmas stuff, winding that down now because I won't be getting new products for Christmas now. But it's going to be great to get those things in, and then launching next year something that we have been trialing for quite a while. Doesn't that look pretty? And it's all ready to go. So that will be coming out in the new year. Workshops, we've got loads of those in the pipeline as well, including got to be finalised yet, but a little tour. So we may well be coming to a town near you, or nearer to you anyway. So all of that will be coming clear in the new year probably. So absolutely loads to look forward to. Oh, and an in-person big workshop. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. On the 30th of November. So in terms of closing for Christmas, we won't close for Christmas, but we will be, I don't know what the last dates would be, but probably something like the 20th to make sure that you can get it in time for Christmas of December. So loads and loads of time, but you've just got to make sure. I'm trying my best to keep the stock levels up at this time of the year. But you know what it's like. It's only little old me. So it's a case of trying to keep the stock levels and just to keep it all moving as well, because as I said, there's got a load of new glitter that I need to show you as well, and glitter card and loveliness. Although we started doing Christmas in May, do you know what? I don't think there's ever enough time for Christmas. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm going to squeeze in a really lovely extra card kit. So yeah, because we needed to do one more Christmas. Isn't that pretty? So as I said, with the focal frames, all you need to think, like all of the easy frames, all you need to think about, will you be getting the DL easy frames in? They are in. They're in, Anne. The slimline ones are in, and they're back up on the website. Yeah, all you've got to think about is the colour that you want to do it. I've chosen to do this colour because I thought that he was sort of like a goldy sort of a colour. It's actually classed as beige, but I thought that it went together really well, like that. I know he's on one side because I've got a sentiment that I want to go there. So that's why he's not on the centre. So I usually go for the darkest one as the largest frame, so that you've got a darker piece showing here and outside, and then a plain there so that we can change it to any season. I can put snowflakes on, or I can put some of the new, oh gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got some even more new corners. Oh, blimey. I should have used those really, but these are so pretty. So we'll use those another time. I just remembered about them. Golly. Right. Okay. So I'm going to put some tape, some double-sided tape. I've got 3mm because I want it to sit up a little bit. Oh, do you know, one of the cards that I made for workshop last month, I did one of the versions for my sister's birthday, which was yesterday. And we were all going to meet her. She lives about an hour away from me. We were going to meet her for lunch, and we were leaving at a certain time. And then with literally 5 minutes to go, the staff announced, we've got to go earlier. We've got to go earlier. And I hadn't made a box for said card. And I always like to, particularly this one, because it was really needing a box, but also because it was my sister, I wanted to make a special effort, as you do. And I cut and made and tied up with a bow a box in 4 minutes. How about that? I reckon I could have gone on for a Brucey bonus for that, if you remember that far back. Yeah, I reckon I could have done. I did have the card out ready to do, but I got waylaid doing other things, and oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it how quickly I made that. Right, now, you could, if you did not want to do any decoupage or anything, that could be it, and I'll put the sentiment on in a minute. But I want to do a little bit of decoupage, and I particularly chose this little chap because he is rather easy to cut out. So as I said, I cut out 4 lots. So one of them is going to be cut out in its entirety, so I'm going to cut all of that out. And then this one, I might only use 3 actually. Let's see how we go. So my scissors that I'm using, because people always ask that, are the Fiskars Shortcut ones, the spring-loaded ones. You can buy them on Amazon, or I've seen them there on Amazon. They are my favourite for cutting out this sort of thing. They're so much easier for me to hold. Feeling like an old lady now. But I do find that my hands, after 30 years of my other job, don't want to work so well as they used to. So when I'm cutting this out, as you can see, I'm moving the paper around my scissors. So I start cutting and then I move the paper around. I always find that that is the best way to cut. And I've chosen, as I said, this image because I felt, hold on, let's cut that bit off a minute. I felt that it was a really easy image to do. So has everyone finished their Christmas cards then? Making their Christmas cards? Or are we onto the charity shop ones, which are just as, well, not just as good. They are a good option, but it's nice to make the special ones. I was thinking, you know, some people, I read one of those things that said about, oh, I'm just trying to think of quite how it's worded, but it's something like, hope you live long enough to hide all the receipts for your craft things or something. I don't know, something like that. And I thought, if you get pleasure from making the cards, which I know I do, thinking about them, designing them, getting all the little bits and making it all together, then that is worth, I think, every penny that you spend, don't you? Look at that. I think I might make this card for myself. So this is going to be the next one, and I think I'm going to cut out. So obviously this is sort of making decoupage up as you go along, really. And I'm going to cut, oh, come here. Oh, don't chop that bit off because I can't get in there. I'm going to cut around his actual knitted clothes for this one, I think. I'm not sure if Carol's watching, but Carol has got some gorgeous books with fussy cutting little gnomes, but not quite like this, but they are gorgeous. So that's what inspired me, Carol, even though I couldn't get to you today. So I'm just going to go around here, chopping off these extra bits that I haven't got. I mean, obviously you can get your decoupage that's pre-cut, and that saves a whole load of things. But sometimes when you want something a bit different, and as I say, if it gives you pleasure. Now this is not going to give me pleasure because I'm going to cut his face off. Maybe I'll cut this little bow out first. So I'm more or less cutting him out a second time, but I'm actually going to disfigure him, really. Gosh, talking about disfigure, have you been watching the program? Now when people watch this back, they'll wonder what on earth she's on about, but there's been a series on telly this last few days called Until I Kill You. Have you been watching it? Oh my goodness, we are hooked. So much so that we had to watch the last one last night on streaming it, or whatever you call it. Wow. If you haven't, and you sort of like, well, it's a true story, and that's even more worrying. But if you like that sort of thing, I don't like to say that I do like a good murder, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So, just let's not show that I've chopped his head off, because this says me talking about a murder program. Oh, blimey. Right. Now, I'm just going to then cut his... Do you know, I don't want to do that now. I'm going to cut that out slightly differently. I'm going to make this the third layer because he looks funny with that. So he's going to have his hat as a second layer. And that little thing there. But I think he needs, I'm going to do it a little bit funny, really. I can't quite decide, so I'll decide in a second when I've done it. Lots of complaints about it, Jill. Oh, I thought it had rave reviews. Oh, I didn't see any complaints. I thought it was very, very good. Well, good, but also not. I don't know how to explain it, really. But yeah, just horrendous sort of a, I suppose maybe was the complaints to do with the fact that it was very well, what's the word? Well, gruesome, really, but very true to what happened. Don't know. I'm trying to do this very quickly, but I do find cutting out quite therapeutic myself, as long as it's not too difficult. I mean, there was a couple of images in this set that you could have gone to town with, and it could have been that you had little tiny wisps of twigs and things. And do you know what? No, I couldn't do that, because I know what I'd be almost to cut it out, and then I would end up chopping off the last little bit, and then it would all be wasted. So I've just got to decide what layer. Now I've not chopped his face off. Yes, I thought that. So Anna Maxwell Martin was in it, and yeah, brilliant. She should have an award for that, I think. Now, what part of that, if any, should I cut off then? I've got two exactly the same, so I don't want to go for exactly the same, do I? So that's going to go on the top. And that's going to go there. I know. We'll cut his body off instead. We'll cut that bit and see what that looks like. So it's just, he's legless now. That's better. We'll go for that. So Marion, what was called? What was the program called? It was called Until I Kill You, if that's what we're talking about, but we probably aren't, because I probably missed it. Dilys has finished making her cards. Oh, well done. She's tried the Bing thing, and she quite liked it by the sounds of it. It's good fun, isn't it? So you can see what I've done. I've cut out 3 more images, one a complete one, and then I'm going to get my bone folder and I printed these onto 160 GSM paper. Well, card, I suppose you'd call it, but it was the same one. And he's going to go onto there. Then I've gone for his hat, his face, because I felt awful that I chopped his head off. And the present. I feel better that I've only chopped his legs off now. And then finally, we've got the hat. Look at that hat. Look at the detail on there. Beautiful. And then the present. So I'm going to put some silicone glue onto the back of each layer. And then I've just got to do the sentiment. So let's bring him back into the center here. So I did print it out 4 times onto one sheet, but I've actually only used 3 of them. Oops, let's just check this out. But I did also find that I did definitely need to put one on its own, because otherwise there wasn't enough space around it to be able to cut him out to go on there. Oh dear. Hold on. I've bunged it up. Technical term. Which was my fault for doing that. Right, so I'm going to take the first layer, which was the full one. So he needs a little bit onto his bobble. You could obviously put foam onto here, little foam pads, whichever is your preference when it comes to doing decoupage, really. And then that will go straight over. So because I'm putting it onto a white background, if I haven't got it completely in the right place, it isn't a problem. It will still show up if I haven't cut out in exactly the right position, if you see what I mean. So let's just put a bit more on, whoops, on his bobble. Ooh. Oh gosh. And then that one goes exactly over the top. And then finally, just his hat. Oops. Which I should put on over there. And oh, hid his nose completely then. I mean, he can't see where he's going, but we need to sort of pretend that he can see, don't we? So that's his present. And again, just each layer goes right over the top of the other one. Pressing it down a little bit. I don't need it quite so bold, I don't think. Find the lid and put the lid back on for that. And then pop that to one side for a minute whilst I just get my sentiment out. Now, I have already stamped this, and I will be getting some of these in soon, using them for one of the workshops actually. So I'm waiting for the stock to come in for the rest of them, but I liked these, so they'll be in next week. So this is the Christmas, what's it called? Elegant Sentiments, Festive Greetings. A little set of stamps, which I have put some Wow Clear pad ink, you know, the sticky one, and then sprinkled some Wow Superfine gold embossing powder on it and heat set that. And then there has matching dies with it. So I'm just going to pop that over the top. Needs a little bit of sticky tape just to keep it in place while I pop it through. And I will just trim that down a little bit. Get my machine. Oh, sorry, got it very close. You'll be able to, whoops, be able to see it in all its glory there, won't you? You can see it's been well loved today. Been using it a lot. Handy for the little sentiments anyway. And that just cuts that around. And pops that out. So we've got that nice little sentiment with a bit of a border. Make sure that I don't throw that away, or throw the die away with it. So subsequently, Pop that back onto there, then we know it's there. And then bring my card back in, and you can then see why I wanted to keep this, because I want the sentiment to go just there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of foam onto there. Don't want, let's see, I need to trim it down a bit thinner because I don't want it to be hanging over the edges. And let's just slide that into place there. Yeah, I'll pop a little bit of glue on it just to be doubly sure. And then that is just going to go onto the side like that. So thank you for indulging me, or in letting me indulge myself, I should say, in making the sort of thing I like to do. I just love this little image. So any decoupage is fine, obviously, but I just, as I said, like the gnomes. The machine I've got is the Spellbinder Scout. It was the new one out in the summer. I just think it's, I did have, you may recall that I had a Sizzix sidekick or something, and it was a bit of a disaster for me. So I decided to get the Spellbinders one. I just think that Spellbinders, I like the little machine. Let me just show you again. I know you can't really see it, but the machine that I like is that it's heavyweight. Hardly heavyweight, but it feels substantial. Some of the other machines you get, they're so lightweight that when you start to roll them, you feel as if the whole machine's just going to fly out your hand, or I do anyway. So yeah, that's what I've got, Spellbinders Scout. So yeah, so there we are. As I said, this one is with the Focal Easy Frame 1 and the Snowflake Flurry here. But all of these things are back in stock. So if you've missed out on any of them, go and grab yourself some of the things, because some of the Christmassy ones won't be coming back in again anymore now. We've already got loads of ideas for Christmas next year, so we will wait till then. But yeah, a lot of the things, the bear hug, that won't be coming back in again, you know, that sort of thing. We need to change it, don't we? They're called beige gnomes. That's what they're called. These little gnomes, they're called beige gnomes, and they are from Etsy, and the company is the one that I usually use, which is called Watercolor Lily. All one word, and Lily is spelt L-E-Y, L-I-L-L-E-Y. So all one word, Watercolor Lily. The corner snowflake die is showing us sold out. Really? Okay. I will check with that, Julie, because there was a lot, unless they've gone out already. What else? And I've said about the elves. Yeah. Okay. So, as I said, we'll be sending out the links for the workshop to the people that are attending the workshop. I should be sending those out very shortly. So look forward to seeing those folks tomorrow evening. And the rest of you, hopefully, you'll be able to join me on Sunday, this Sunday, the 10th of November, with the launch of the Archway Easy Frames. Can't wait to show you them. And I do hope that you will like them as much as I think that you will. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. Lovely to see you all here. Take care and see you again soon. Many thanks. Bye.